Today I'm going to tell you a horror story so unsettling, so strange that many people refuse to believe it's true, but I lived through it, and I'll carry the scars forever. It's about a cursed house, a desperate decision, and what happens when you sign your soul over without reading the fine print. They call it the devil's lease. It began 2 years ago, right after I lost my job in Phoenix and had no choice but to pack up my life and move cross-country to rural Pennsylvania, where my late uncle had left behind an old farmhouse that no one in the family wanted. It was free, fully furnished, and in decent condition, or so I thought. I figured I'd fix it up, maybe flip it, maybe start over. But the moment I pulled up that long gravel driveway, my dog Daisy started growling low in her throat and refused to get out of the car. That should have been my first sign. The house looked normal enough: old white siding, chipped porch steps, weathered shutters, but there was something wrong with the air, heavy and still, like the land itself was holding its breath. I stepped inside and felt this unnatural chill, even though it was mid-August. The furniture was covered in dusty white sheets, and every mirror in the house had been removed or smashed. I found the first journal in the attic that night, a leather-bound book with pages full of symbols and frantic handwriting, left behind by my uncle. It started off sane enough: complaints about creaky floors and cold drafts. But after a few weeks, his entries shifted. He spoke of voices coming from the basement, lights flickering when he prayed, and something watching him from the cornfields outside his bedroom window. I told myself he'd gone crazy. I told myself I was different. I lasted 6 days. On the 7th night, something started knocking on the walls. Not just little taps, heavy, rhythmic pounding that moved from room to room, but always stopped the second I turned on the light. Daisy barked nonstop, staring at corners of the room where nothing was visible. One night I woke to find every door in the house open, swinging slightly even though there was no breeze. I nailed them shut. The next night they were open again. I started to dream of things I couldn't explain, visions of people nailed to trees, a fire underground, of a red door in the basement that didn't exist when I was awake. I heard whispers in the drain when I brushed my teeth. My phone stopped working. I didn't have Wi-Fi, but every night at exactly 3:33 a.m., my phone lit up and displayed one message: "Pay what you owe." I tore the phone apart. The next night, it happened again. The screen turned on. The same message appeared, even though the battery had been ripped out. I went to the basement. I know, I shouldn't have, but I couldn't take it anymore. I brought a hammer, a flashlight, and Daisy, who whined the whole way down. The basement was freezing cold, and the concrete was damp. I looked around and found nothing but old tools, shelves, and a crumbling wall near the boiler. That's when Daisy started barking at it, claws scratching at the cement. Something was behind there. I smashed through the wall and uncovered a hidden room, no bigger than a closet, with one thing inside: a locked red door. It had no handle, no hinges, just chains wrapped around it, and a brass plaque that said, 10 years, 10 souls, 1 lease. The chains weren't for keeping people out. They were for keeping something in. The next morning I found another journal page on my nightstand that hadn't been there the night before. It was from my uncle, dated 1 day before he died. "If you find the red door, it's already too late. The lease renews every 10 years. The house demands payment. I've delayed it as long as I could. Forgive me." That night I packed my bags and tried to leave, but the road out was gone. Literally, it just turned to endless woods that hadn't been there the day before. I was trapped. Every night after that, the knocking got louder, the temperature dropped, and Daisy grew weaker. I found more journal entries scattered around the house, as if the place was writing them just for me. I learned that my uncle had made a deal: 10 years of prosperity, good luck, and protection in exchange for 10 lives. Not all at once, 1 per year. The lease had been passed down, whether I wanted it or not, and now the house wanted me to start paying. The first time it tried to take me was on the 10th night. I was dragged from my bed by invisible hands and pulled into the hallway where the walls began to bleed. I screamed, fought, prayed, and for a moment I swear I saw my uncle's ghost standing by the red door, whispering, "Close it, close it." I ran to the basement, chains rattling, door vibrating like something behind it was furious. I found a pile of bones behind the boiler. Animals, maybe people. I knew then that I wasn't the first. I had a choice: offer someone else to the house or find a way to break the lease. I tried everything: burning sage, reciting verses, smashing windows, but nothing worked. Until I found the real contract, hidden in the attic wall behind an old portrait. It was handwritten in blood and signed by my uncle. And now my name had been added, not signed, carved. In that moment I made my decision. I soaked the house in gasoline, set it ablaze, and never looked back. I don't know how I escaped. One moment the flames were around me, the next I was outside, coughing, staring at the fire. The red door didn't burn. It's still there, in the ashes, waiting for the next tenant. So if you ever inherit a house that seems too good to be true, remember this: sometimes the cost isn't in dollars, it's in blood. And no matter how far you run, a signed lease never forgets. If this story disturbed you, then, like this video, share it with someone who needs a warning, drop a comment about what you would have done, and hit subscribe for more true horror tales that might just save your life. Thanks for watching, and whatever you do, don't answer the knocking.